ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe for comments.
Oh, that's just a little bit of lint on the butt. Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here, doing another Mortal Kombat action figure review on the Storm Collectibles 112 Action Series Big Bad Toy Store exclusive special edition Goro. If you're trying to pick this up, you can pick it up, like I said, at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Now this was what I was planning to have as my first Storm Collectibles figure, that Chun-Li New York Comic Con exclusive. Yeah, that beat it, but hey, this looks awesome still. On the side you can see a very cool looking product shot of Goro. That looks very impressive, and then on the back you can see even more product shots looking really cool. There's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. And then on the side you can see an illustrated image of Goro's face, and then on the top it says Mortal Kombat. Now on the bottom it says Mortal Kombat Goro, and it says for ages 15 and up. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here is Goro out of the packaging, and I am impressed just right out the bat. I'm not going to try to get ahead of myself and get too much into this review already at the very beginning of it, but man, this figure is pretty damn incredible. I mean, I never thought I'd have a figure that has this much awesome detail and articulation and functionality with a four-armed character. I'm just thoroughly impressed already. Well, we get some really good accessories as well, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look at Goro. So here's all the accessories that we get with Goro, and I think Storm Collectibles just nailed it as far as everything that we want with a Goro figure. I have one minor gripe, which I'll get to in just a second, but you can see that we get three sets of interchangeable hands, and I love that we have 4 fisted hands, we have 4 wide open hands, and then we have 4 grabby hands, and they're made out of very soft material, which actually works out really well as far as interchanging the hands. It's very easy to do. I really appreciate that a lot. That soft material really does go a long way, and I love having this BBTS version where we have the blood on each hand and nothing is repeated exactly the same. What they've done here is they've included black and red paint with this, and it just, oh no man, I just love it. I just love having this kind of unique paint on the figure, and I like how the fingernails are painted right here. The sculpt on all of these just look fantastic. Very, very happy with this, man. I'm not going to go through every single hand that we get here, but you can see that they are all unique and different, and that is just really cool. I dig that quite a bit. We get this stand right here that we've seen before, or I saw it before with the Chun-Li figure. I guess it's a standard issue thing. It comes with 2 of these pegs right here. You also have this clamp that you could plug into it, which is going to be kind of useless for such a large figure like Goro. But, you know, the peg is going to work for the projectile effects, which originally were going to have the flesh color of the fist in the front, and as you can see right here in the game, it actually is a flesh color, so they did change it to the green, and it's a minor nitpick, but not enough for me to be upset at all. I still think they both look awesome. I really like these a lot, man. This is very cool. There's a little port right where the port, there's the port right there, so you can go ahead and plug it into the stand, and that works out pretty well too, so that is really awesome. I dig that quite a bit. And then we get 2 different ponytails, which is awesome. I like that. I keep saying awesome, awesome, maybe because I think the figure's awesome, but you can see this is kind of like the relaxed ponytail, then this is the more splayed out ponytail. Now here's looking at the first of the 2 head sculpts, and I love both of them. I think they're amazing. I love the added blood that we're seeing throughout. Again, I just think more blood and more grime looks great, and I think the regular version is going to have these tiny little dots that you see throughout. It reminds me of some of the technique that Hot Toys uses to paint their figures. It adds a layer and depth to the skin. I think it looks really good. The sculpt is just fantastic. You can see subtle wrinkles on the forehead. The eyebrows look great. The mouth looks really good. I love those eyes. Looking at the ears right over here, I think they look good. He has the Spock ears. Of course, he has that whole leopard print thing going on, or the leopard design going on in the back with a darker tone. But you can see like that hatching, you know, it's almost like a rhino hide right there on the back of his head. That looks great. A little gripe of mine is on this particular head sculpt, the port is a little bit too big, so the ponytail is a little loose, but it doesn't bother me that much. But man, great looking head sculpt. And I'm going to pop this off, and unlike the Chun-Li figure, the peg does stay in there just fine. And then getting this other one ported on here, and then attaching the ponytail, which stays on a whole lot better on this head sculpt. And I like this one a lot too. Love those gums. The sharp teeth look really good. I guess maybe they could have used just a touch more of the yellowish white right there, but still, I mean, he has blood in his mouth and on his chin and on his forehead. That looks great. And again, the sculpted detail on this is just remarkably awesome. 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 I love it. This figure is amazing, man. It's a great looking piece. I can really go on forever about how I like every single detail on this thing. This is great. And look at that. The wristbands look really good too. It has that kind of brass look to it. And they're made out of a soft material. I love that shading that we're seeing on it. I mean, the torso and the musculature, the anatomy is just really impressive, especially with unrealistic limbs here and all that. And hey, Juan, look at that. We get the sculpted nipples. There you go. So if you're into sculpted nipples, there they are. But I love that we see some veins right here. And this is a very soft material, which doesn't bother me at all. I think it works out well with the figure. I love seeing the veins in the arms right here. The abs look great. I mean, just through and through, the sculpted work on this thing is just amazing. I always thought it was funny he had a peace sign right there. It's like, what? Doesn't he want to destroy and rip the skin off of his victims? Anyway, looking on the back right there, that looks great. Oh, man, this is so cool. They got to make it Kentaro with this. Oh man, and Motaro would be even cooler, I think. That was really one of my absolute favorites from Mortal Kombat. But we got the Goro butt right there, and you can see he's got his little Speedos. They did add some blood to the Speedos, so that's cool. I love these big meaty thighs. The knee joints look pretty good right here too. Of course, he has these wraps with blood on them. The calves look great. Ah, man. You know, you can see the joints in there, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm just floored by this thing. This is awesome. We get some beautiful Goro toes. You gotta love those Goro toes right there. Those are great. And he does not have peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but that's okay. He stands pretty well. I love the articulation on this figure. It's one of the reasons why I got lost in the action figure abyss. That's what I call it when I just spend tons of time taking pictures. But you can rotate the ponytail side to side up there, and you can turn the head up quite a bit. So we get a neck joint inside there and the ball joint at the head. So he'll look up pretty far, and you can get him looking downward. It's a little bit stiff. That's one of my minor gripes with the articulation on this figure. There are some parts where things get stiff. You get head side to side movement. You also get good head pivoting right there. That is great. We have butterfly joints right over here at the top. You can move the top arms outward that far, and you can move them down. Oh, and you can also shift up and down at that butterfly joint too. So you can shift it down that much. That's pretty cool. You could rotate a full 360 at the shoulder. You get a bicep swivel, and then you get a double jointed elbow that only meets at 90 degrees. So I wish that could bend in a little bit more so. It doesn't really bother me that much though. You get side to side motion, and you can hinge the wrists up and down or side to side depending on how you have that hinge right here configured. A bonus part is that this is not plugged in with the peg. It's actually a ball joint inside the wrist right there. So you also get side to side movement without having to turn that hinge up and down. That is very cool. Hot Toys, take note. We also get an upper diaphragm joint, so you can see the soft material right here, and you can turn that side to side. You can't really pivot. Oh yeah, there it goes. You can pivot that joint too, and it'll crunch back, and it gets a little gappy over here. Minor gripe, but you know, as long as you just, you know, get the right angle on it, it should be fine, and it'll crunch forward quite a bit as well. That is so awesome. We get rotation at these shoulders right here on the second set of arms, very stiff, which I actually appreciate. And then you can get the arms moving outward that much. You get a bicep swivel. You get the single jointed or double jointed elbows. I keep wanting to say single jointed because it only meets at 90 degrees, but you know, he's so damn ripped. And then you also get the same articulation on these hands as well. We get a waist joint that turns side to side. You get waist pivoting and waist crunching forward, waist back. Oh man, that articulation. And the hips move outward that much. and he can kick forward very far and back. I don't mind that this thing is so squeaky because it's a hefty figure, not incredibly heavy, but I like that it's got some, you know, some tight joints. We need that. You get a swivel, double jointed knees, and that does bend in more than 90 degrees. The ankles were very stiff for me. I was kind of scared, but I took a look inside and I was like, you know, I think I could get that to bend more. So we got the feet pointing down. You can shimmy and get the feet pointing up. You get side to side motion. You do get ankle pivot. That's pretty stiff to do, and the ankle pivot kind of rotates at a weird way, but that's all right because the figure still stands really well, and he does have toe articulation. This figure is very tall. You can see measuring him out. To the top of the ponytail, he's at about 10.5 inches, I want to say, but to the top of the head, just right at 10 inches. For a size comparison, here's Goro next to another Mortal Kombat figure. We have the Mezco Sub-Zero, and they don't fit into scale at all together. I'm probably going to have to get more Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat figures. I don't know. Do you guys have recommendations? And then comparing Goro next to another Storm Collectibles figure, we have the Street Fighter Chun-Li New York Comic Con exclusive. Then here's Goro next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Negative Spider-Man. Oh, you think you're cool because you got 4 arms? Well, let me tell you something, buddy. I used to have 6 arms. You ain't nothing compared to me. Oh, I want to thank you guys again for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, especially those of you that watch these videos from the beginning to the end. It really does help out this YouTube channel quite a bit, as well as when you hit that like button if you like the video. Please leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of this figure, let me know what you think of the review, and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you have not already. And check out my second channel, Geeky Drummer. My lesson video on how to hold drumsticks went up yesterday, if you're interested in that kind of thing. If not, well, I understand. Action figures and drums are very different worlds. But anyway, back to this figure right here. I have been having so much fun posing it around. I mean, if you could tell, I did animate this quite a bit for that stop motion segment, and it made it very easy to do so because this figure was really easy to work with. Swapping out the hands, articulating the figure, balancing the figure, and on top of that, I just absolutely love how this figure looks. I don't say this very often. I mean, how many times have I mentioned throughout the years that, or throughout this year, that one particular figure is going to make the top 10 list. I remember saying that for the Marvel Legends thing, but I'm saying it again right now for this Storm Collectibles Goro. So, I'm giving it a Sun rating of... It is really that amazing. I mean, really, man, I just love this piece. I am so thrilled. I don't think there could ever be another Goro figure that could be as good as this one. This is just remarkably, fantastically amazing. But anyway, if you want to see the latest in toy news, you can find it all over at toynewseye.com. And if you want to follow me on the social media, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to everything in the description below. Who knows, I might be on Twitch later today. I don't know. Stay tuned. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.